Yeah, six key needs that you need to express to your partner. The first is um, situations when I would like your help. There's going to be
Uh-huh.
there's going to be times when I need help. Yeah,
Mm.
because we're we're all on a journey. We all have problems. We all have things we can solve. We're all learning, and to some extent we're all suffering as well. So it's very important to express that when you see me like this, that's when I need this. Because otherwise it's just a giant fucking puzzle, not knowing which pieces go where, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it's much easier if you tell the person this piece goes there, right? And they don't have to figure it out for themselves. Because why make your partner's life difficult? What the fuck is that, right? You know? why why be a puzzle for somebody else? Unless they like puzzles, I don't know, but I don't see the point in making it more complicated than it already is, because the more problems you solve now, the further you can get in the future, right?
Mhm.
You can't get to the next level until you've beaten all of the problems on this level. You don't get to the next level. And so if you don't solve all the problems on this level, you don't fucking go anywhere, which is why relationships don't go anywhere for a lot of people, because these people just don't solve the problems. And a relation, as described earlier, life is just problems. So a relationship is just, we have problems we need to solve, and I'm in this relationship because I'm happy to solve these problems.
Yeah. Once I had a colleague, and she told her daughter, like, the relationship at the beginning, it shouldn't be hard, it shouldn't be complicated.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, because you do have to do some work, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you what's not complicated. Meeting with a person, sleeping with a person, not seeing them again,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a person says it shouldn't be complicated, it's like, well, no, because I can give you an example where that's a really terrible idea. Oh, I don't want things to be complicated. Oh, it's like you want some of these open relationships where people can pass sexually transmitted diseases between each other on a regular basis, right? Fantastic. That's a great
No,
that's a great idea. Um,
it was more in a way. And I don't know if she's dating somebody, like, long distance relationship, or they already had some issues they could not solve. It was like finding a time
of
for each
course,
other.
of course they've got of course they've got problems they can't solve if they're in a long distance relationship. I mean that you know that's not a relationship. That's an oxymoron,
I, mhm.
right? Because yes, there are times when people, for whatever reasons, have to be apart from each other, but that's not a relationship then,
Mhm. No, it's not.
because the relationship is being in the same place, sharing the same experiences. It's like a long distance relationship is like saying you you work for Sony when you work for Samsung, right? Relationships, there are some basic requirements. Relationships require that people are in the same physical space. It's a requirement.
Mhm.
Otherwise it's not a otherwise it's not as such a relationship, because the physicality is what the biology is what makes us human.
Real.
It's not physicality. Yeah, it's biology. The biology is what makes it real, and it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. Um, it's just the distance. Distance, it's not a relationship. It's not a relationship if the person is not there. And I feel sorry for people who are stuck in those kinds of problems, but, and specifically I think of, because this is a military area where I live, and so a lot of people are married to people in the military, and these people spend 3 to 6 months away.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not a fucking relationship. I mean, I understand building for the future relationship, but it's not a relationship right now. It's like, okay, well, I'll retire when I'm 40 and we'll have money and we'll be able to go and do something else. Well, great if you want to spend 10 to 15 years alone first, then okay, that's a commitment to the future. I understand that. If you want your children to grow up with only one parent, right?
Even crazier when both of the parents are working for military defect.
It is it is crazier. There's a certain level of understanding there because of whatever reason they have to face similar kinds of issues and problems. It's not what it is; it's what you make of it. So you can still try to turn it into something good. Have a vision of the future, have a plan, build that. And people in the military are specifically trained to have that vision and to understand feedback and to solve problems and to make sure people don't die. Right? It's kind of a responsible position to be in. So to diffuse conflict a lot of the time. So those elements are not bad elements. We need people with those skills in life. So it's important to express when you need help, and you do this by saying, if you see me looking if you see me looking tired, if you know that I'm not sleeping enough, if I'm not talking and I should be talking about something, if you can see something's on my mind, if you can see the problem before I see the problem, let me know, because I don't want to walk into an obvious problem, right? You let me know in advance. If I don't have the energy that I normally have, if I'm not finishing what I've started, if I'm not executing on my plans, if I'm not looking after myself. That's your job as my partner, to come in and do something because I've asked you to. Yeah. And to realize that there might be some resistance as well when that happens. But this is a problem I want to solve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't expect nobody with a brain expects relationships without problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but it's the problem we choose to solve.
If there are no problems, then it's not a relationship.
Yeah.
For what it is, if there is nothing to solve and move on.
It's not about. Yeah. It's a good point. If there's no problems, it's not a relationship. But you want to be able to. You want to have some control over the problems, right? You want to have. You want to choose the types of problems that you deal with, and you want to be able to deal with those kinds of problems. There's a lot of people get involved in relationships and think they can solve the problem, but they don't have the skills and abilities to solve those types of problems or those kinds of problems. So point one is, when
I need help.
Yeah, expressing when I need help, and expressing what the other person needs to notice. if you see this, then I need